Today is World Food Day, highlighting the millions around the world suffering from hunger. Earlier, I spoke with Bettina Luescher, World Food Program Chief Spokesperson, and I asked her about this year's goal of agriculture cooperatives.
Yeah, it's a really interesting idea because what we're doing as an international aid organization is always looking for ways of how we can end hunger, and farmers and how they work together and how they join forces in cooperatives is one of those ways of how you can end hunger, and especially the women are important. Women farmers are the real key to ending hunger. If you empower them, if you give them access to seeds, to training, to land, to credits, and if they can work together, that is a real way of that they not only feed their own families but also their village, and that they will be able to sell, food to other people. That is the way of ending hunger.
Well, how has the rising price of food around the world changed the strategy to fight hunger? Also, I imagine this has been impacted by climate change and the global economic crisis.
In many parts of the world, people live on less than $1 or $2 a day. Most of their money is being spent on food. So if food prices go up, these people are hammered like you and I will never be, because we spend only a small part of our income on food. And so it's really important that we create safety nets, that we make sure that people who are affected by climate change, who have been hit by a drought or a flood, that we have safety nets already in place. And farmers are important because, as the largest aid organization in the world, we buy a lot of food, and we buy more and more in developing countries. Most of the food we buy is in developing countries. So we strengthen those economies while at the same time then using that food we buy from those farmers to give it to those who cannot feed themselves. So it's a win-win situation on many levels.
We hear a lot about governments and various agencies, but is there anything that can be done on a local level to make a difference?
Yes, and it is so, it's so powerful what you can do. When we talk about these big numbers, you might sit there back at home and think, there's nothing I can do. But if you go, for example, to our website, wfp.org, but you also can make a donation. And to give you an example, it costs $5 a month to feed a child. Think of that. Where I'm based now here in New York, a cup of coffee costs $5. For that cup of coffee, I can feed a child in Africa for a month. So go to wfp.org/Molly and see how you can help. And there will be powerful ways of how you can have a real impact.